Hi! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Court of Spades. As usual, I forgot to get my dice out before the session, so I'm going to be wrestling around with that real quick. Hopefully it's not too loud. But I am Emily. I will be the DM this evening. I will also be playing the role of Nyx, who is the party's mythic beast tiefling. And everyone can quickly go through their intros, and then I'll briefly recap, and then we're going to launch right into this, because today's session is going to be a little bit shorter, aiming for an hour. So let's do this.
Okay, I'm Nat. I play the party's druid, Jezebel Emmerich.
Hi, I'm Liz. I play Marin Marlios, the half-elf wizard.
Hey, what's up? It's Daniel here, playing Peter Longbottom, your halfling bard.
Okay, and that is everyone. So last week, I believe you guys just basically navigated your way through the rest of the woods until you... Did you fight something last week?
Yeah, it was, bone snakes.
Yeah, you
Something like that.
You fought Bone Naga, that is correct. They were guarding the entrance. Well, they weren't even guarding the entrance. They were guarding like the exterior of the circus. One of which the Bone Naga warned all of you that if you continued into the circus, you would meet your maker. You ignored this warning, killed all the Bone Naga, and encountered Cal, who was waiting for you on the interior of the bubble. He then passed you tickets to the circus, and I think only two of you realized that he is not the elf that he has presented himself to be, but in fact I'm just gonna pretty much say it, like he is a harpy. It's the body of a bird person and a gnarled, ugly head. But he helped you get in, and as soon as he did that, he tried to quickly debrief you on what was happening in the circus, and before he could finish, a hag emerged from the ticket booth, and that is where we will pick up. So...
See, this is why we can't trust elves. They never appear like they seem. Alright, guys? Can't trust elves.
Yeah, fuck elves. Fuck elves so hard right now.
This entire campaign is Court of Spades, fuck elves.
It's the subtitle. You guys watch as this large hag emerges from the ticket booth, her face covered in like warts and cracks and all these horrific. Oh boy, guys, if you don't know what a hag looks like, let me inform you right now. Her hair is white and stringy. Her nails are long. This is the only part of this hag you've ever seen, is her long, gnarled hand that used to reach out and took your tickets when you first arrived at this circus. She's large and has a huge hump as she hunches over, grasping a large gray staff in one hand, as she grins this hollow smile full of holes and rotted teeth. Here is what she looks like for those of you in the Discord.
Gnarly.
And as she emerges, she kind of looks between you and Cal, and kind of chuckles to herself and goes, "Now, this isn't how we treat guests, is it?" And she reaches down and grabs Cal by the breast of his vest and lifts him off the ground, and you see him like struggle and kind of like writhe in her hand as he tries to break out of her grasp, but she tightens it until her nails are ripping through the fabric of his shirt. And as you watch this happen, you kind of, for a moment, just a moment, those of you who aren't even using the glass right now, see Cal's appearance almost like flicker in and out. So you see a glimpse of what he really looks like before he returns looking at like the elf that you know. And she shakes her head and tucks her tongue and goes, "You have a show to prepare for. I'll see you all at the final show, dearies." And she turns to all of you and she goes, "Oh, but you better hurry. People are just dying to get seats." And she mounts her broom with Cal clutched in her hand, her staff, I should say, with Cal still clutched in her hand, and launches into the sky towards the large tent, cackling as she goes. And you are left at the front of this circus with an unattended ticket booth.
So, didn't need the tickets anyway?
I think
I'm walking to the circus.
Need them to get in. Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right. We can't get in the ticket. Oh, he's going. Merritt, as you approach the turnstile, you see that, actually, make a perception check. If you can.
Okay.
What was it, 15?
15?
Okay. As you walk in, you notice the little, like, counter that tells you how many guests have come in and out hasn't changed since the last time you guys were here. It's the same number. And you pass through the turnstile with ease. Well, I guess we should follow him. Just the tickets seem to, like, get us in here in general, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, through that big scary thing that's surrounding this circus. The bubble.
Oh. Well,
So I think that's why we needed him. I think this is just for show at this point.
Well,
That's what all I can imagine. Like, everything seems to be for show here so far.
You know what would really suck? If we just like, yeah, screw it, and we just throw them away, and then later we're like, oh crap, we gotta leave. Fuck, we don't have the tickets. We can't leave.
Oh, Detroit.
You know what? I'm gonna say that, actually, no, that's in character as Peter, and he's just gonna, like, tuck it into his pocket. Like, you know what?
Gotcha.
I don't want to take any chances with these clownies, or, yeah, these clowns.
These clowns. Clowns who are also carnies.
Yes. I don't trust these clowns, especially the elf one. So.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing we need is getting stopped at the gate because we forgot a slip of paper.
Yeah, I'm with you there, cause like, what the fuck just happened?
well,
I'm gonna
There
make a
was a-
quick. I'm gonna make it. Just a quick like intelligence check for Nyx to see if he'd have any idea what the fuck that was. Maybe like an Arcana check. I completely forgot to open his sheet, so I'm just gonna roll a d20 and not really add anything unless I can open it before I can. Oh, he got a 17, so yeah. He probably vaguely recognizes like a hag, like he's heard of them in like stories, but he never has seen one in person, certainly. and thought they were just. Well, I'll say it. Man, I think I've heard of things like that, but I thought those were just fairy tales to scare kids.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed Hag was a name you gave to like that one lady that lived on your street alone.
Yeah.
I think they were, you know, actual witches, but then again, I didn't expect demonic carnies. So, well, not demonic, but
Yeah. Well, I guess we should follow Marin before we lose him, because I really don't want something to happen to him and us to get separated. So I'm gonna
oh
go
shit,
in.
yeah.
And Nick's like suddenly realizes that you all have just kind of been hanging back and having a conversation as Marin marches straight into the circus. So he quickly follows behind and kind of gestures for you to follow, making sure that you all aren't splitting the party. And as you guys start to walk up this path towards the kind of outer ring of the carnival where you first came across the concession stands, you guys can... I want everyone to make a perception check.
Perception check? Okay. Oh.
Nyx rolled a 2. And I'm pretty sure whatever modifier gets added to that for him isn't going to save his ass.
17.
23?
Alright.
Hey,
Yeah.
I guess I still have exhaustion, don't I?
Yes, you do.
We haven't taken a long rest since I got struck by lightning.
No, you have not.
Damn it. Okay.
Nyx rolled a fucking 3. Total.
So I have 10 total.
Okay, Marin, I'm not quite... Is Marin... Like, what is he doing? Like, he marched into the circus, but is he, like, chasing after where the hag just...
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of are a little bit broken away from the party and not quite focused on your surroundings. But, and Nyx is too focused on trying to catch up with you. But Jez and Peter, as you enter the circus behind Nyx and kind of like casual jog behind your party, you take in your surroundings a bit more and you start to notice that, like, previously when you had come across these concession stands, there was that really sweet smell that kind of made everything feel a little bit like a dream. That smell now is like tainted with something that, like, you can't quite put your finger on it, but it as it hits your nose, it leaves like a sour, bitter taste on the back of your tongue.
Oh, someone farted!
Yes, I don't know how I know this, but Jez knows this.
Oh yeah, Jez.
That smelly smell.
I forgot. I keep forgetting you've never been here. Jez, you don't notice it as like a difference from obviously the last time because you weren't there last.
Oh no.
Something almost like toxic smelling in the air right now.
Okay. Cut out a little bit in the middle there, but I think I got the gist of it.
So...
Do you smell that?
Yell that in fiction?
Yes, that. Do you smell that? That smell? A kind of smelly smell that smells smelly?
Peter, I feel like you are referencing something, and I don't understand.
Don't worry about it, but the point is that, you know, last time, Marin, wasn't the last time we were here, it kind of smelled like, you know, like fresh popped popcorn. It didn't smell like something died in the popcorn maker, you know?
Does that matter right now?
You know what? Fair point. You know, fair point.
I feel like that is a violation of health code.
There we go. We can shut him down on that. Keep that in mind. Nice. Yeah. Peter's just quickly jogging his way towards or after the fucking hag as well. But like, yeah, he says that, but like, he doesn't really. He's just like, yeah, fair point. It's not really a big concern right now. So he keeps booking on.
Does Marin actually know where he's going this time?
I don't know. He's following the hag. He like took off as soon as he could.
So that's a no.
Well, I don't know. Do I need a roll to know where I'm going after this hag?
I've lost Emily.
We've lost God. God has forsaken us.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
God has returned.
Hello,
Okay,
God?
hello. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wait.
My connection crashed.
Our connection with God crashed.
It's okay, mine does all the time.
Sorry about that. It's because I'm on weird
God can't hear
vacation
you
Wi-Fi.
here. That's a mood. I'm also
Okay.
on vacation Wi-Fi.
Okay, let me quickly. My desktop Discord opened again, so let me quickly switch back to that because I'm on my phone.
So, how's your week going, Peter? Sorry, Detroit.
Well, you're not Jess.
There we go.
It's because I
Much better.
read the name and then I go, that's who that is.
Well, you know, Jess, we did spend like a week lost in the woods.
We
Or it
did.
felt like a week.
We did.
So that's how
was
my
a-
week's going.
Anyway, sorry. The last thing I asked was, did Peter say that in fiction? And then I did not hear your response because my connection died.
Oh, basically, he smells it, and well, since Jess has never been here before, he pointed out to Marin, but then Marin just replied with, "Does that really matter right now?" As we continue booking after this hag, and I'm just like, fair point, and kind of just like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Guys, and as Nyx kind of like halts, and he reaches forward and like, oh, Marin dropped because Wi-Fi, but he grabs like the back of Marin's shirt. With Nyx just like grabbed the back of Marin's shirt to stop him. And he kind of like puts out his other arm to like stop Jez and Peter to like motion. And standing in front of you is Marion. And he has that same like big grin on his face. But something seems a little off about him. And he looks at you and goes, "Ah, yes! Welcome to Isaka and I. We are so happy to see you here."
Just kind of probably like at first looks excited because oh wait, it's a new person. And then looks at the rest of the party, and I'm gonna assume that they probably look less than pleased.
Yeah, Nyx looks a little confused. What?
Sorry, I cut out for a second. Where location-wise are we?
You guys are standing like a little bit in front of the concession stand, so like the center tent is a little ways ahead of you. Because if you can recall, there's like a center tent, and then there's like a big ring around the outside that has all the other act tents. So you guys are kind of just like right in front of the concessions, so you're still a little bit ways off from the center tent. Because the concessions are right in the front of they're on the edge of the outer circle, right in the front entrance, so you guys are still kind of making your way through concessions.
Is Marin still at the front of the party?
Marin has been stopped by Nyx, who grabbed the back of his shirt, but yes, he's still in the front.
Okay.
Because Marion has met you guys in the middle of this pathway. And
Okay.
greeted you. I don't know if you heard him greet you or not.
I did. That's
Okay.
what I heard.
Okay. I tried to make an insight check and I nat one. I crit failed.
He doesn't suspect a thing.
Nope, Nyx is just confused.
Can I kind of shift behind Nyx a little bit and pull out the glass and look at Marion?
Yes, you can. I'm gonna have you make a
Sleight of
stealth
hand.
check.
Okay. Sleight of hand or stealth?
Let's say sleight of hand. Because he wouldn't be suspicious of you moving, but he'd be more suspicious of you reaching in and grabbing something.
I got a nat 20.
Okay.
Real slick here. Just
Yeah, so, resident rogue, apparently. Marin. Marin, you easily kind of, like, shuffle backwards and reach into your bag, I assume, or one of your pouches, wherever you've
Yeah.
kept this glass, and
Got pouches.
Okay. And you produce the glass and take a glance at Marion. What you see through the glass is, you notice the first thing, the first thing you notice is, every kind of feature melts away from him, and you are now staring at what is essentially a marionette doll. So it kind of looks like, the way I can easily describe it is, it looks like one of those drawing figure dolls where there's just like a blank face and then a jointed body. And it's not being held up by strings or anything like that, but it is like an animated wooden doll. And you notice through the glass, that as you look at it, that he has like a deep crack running from like his top temple down to like where his eye would be if he had eyes.
Okay.
Peter's gonna approach Marion and she'll be like, Marion, buddy, good to see you again. How are performances going?
Oh, are you a reoccurring guest? I don't believe I introduced myself yet.
Oh, that stings. Oh. Wait.
I put the glass away and I pull out the papers from the queen.
Okay. Can I help you all find something? Would you like to see one of our many amazing acts?
Oh, well, we're not here to see any acts. We're here on business. You see, I'm assuming Marion has the papers right from the Queen's, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Go on.
we were sent by the queen of Grimoire on some official business.
Oh?
You see, no traders are permitted to set up in the middle of the Evermore, and therefore we have been asked to ask you to disband immediately, or unfortunately there will be some consequences.
Oh, I do not know this grimoire you speak of. Is that one of the towns further in on the of the country?
Yes. One of the
Oh.
larger cities.
Well, this is very troubling. You see, I am not in charge of the permits and stuff here, but I was under the belief that no one has power over the Evermore.
That's not entirely true, actually. Can I roll a deception check, actually?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Wait, hold on. No, I got something. Hold on. Oh, wait. No. Just give me a hot second, please.
Yeah, that's okay. He kind of looks a bit troubled, and he extends his hand as Peter, you scramble to do your thing. He's like, could I see the papers that you have there?
Actually, yes. May I speak to you in private, perhaps in your office, and I can go over these papers with you. And he kind of look back and like suddenly wink at the others.
Marin, like, without us. I said Marin, I meant Peter.
Yeah, trust me. How about you look for where the other acts are? Another wink. While I talk to Marion here and I explain the details with the Queen, and about the details of the Evermore and whatnot. There have been some changes actually, and that's why we had to return Marion.
As you say this, you see Marion kind of like eye you up a little bit, Peter, but he doesn't seem to notice anything about your demeanor. And his grin obviously like widens a bit, and he's like, well, of course, I am always my office is always open and welcome, especially to comments or complaints about the circus. Your friends will remain back here, no?
Oh yes, I'm sure they'll be very well behaved. While you and I, the business guys here, have a little chat. He just like looks back and just winks again.
Yeah.
Of course we will. I pinch Nyx's back and just kind of like step in front of him. Of course we will.
Yeah, we'll be good. I want to see some of the acts for the first time. Mm-hmm.
I pinch him again.
Ow!
First time.
I mean Jez's first time.
I pinch him again.
I mean, bye, Peter. It was really nice knowing you. Marion gestures for you to follow him then, Peter, and he kind of turns and walks towards a tent that like you would recognize as the tent that Dougal and Doyle worked in. So that's where he starts to lead you off, and the party has been split. So go ahead, Peter.
Awesome. Okay, so Marion, you said despite being the ringleader here, you said that you aren't exactly the one in control of the permits and paperwork of this establishment.
No, not exactly. I process any complaints or any comments, and I pass them on to the proprietors. If it comes to that, I am what you call the face of this establishment. So everything goes through me, but I don't necessarily have the final say on everything.
And who would be the one that would have the final say? Because, well, one of the reasons why we're here is because the Queen may have some concerns over your permits and paperwork, especially concerning with the whoever may the individual may be who may hold these permits, of course, not with you.
Well, that would be the proprietors, but I don't think they are very willing to be seeing people. Like I said, I can handle anything that you need.
No, that's quite all right. It's just, well, like I said, the Queen has some very big concerns about the proprietors and about, well, the Evermore. So I would like to use Words of Terror, which is a College of Whispers Bard feature.
Okay.
Awesome. You can attempt to seed paranoia into a target's mind. At the end of the conversation, the target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against my spell save DC.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me quickly see something. Okay. Okay, what is the save I have to make?
You have to save of 7. You have to save a 17, the DC 17.
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second.
No worries.
'Cause I have to look at something for Marion. Would you say this is a charm?
Technically it's a frighten, because the if the target fails, they're frightened. It doesn't say
Okay.
anything about being charmed.
Alright, so you cast this on
Words of Terror.
Marion, and he seems completely unaffected.
What?
This creature cannot be frightened, is what you've learned from this situation. Of course, Peter wouldn't know anything about what Marion is, because Marion is the only person who's seen anything.
A for effort, Peter. A for effort.
Ah, goddamn. Well, as I said, the Queen has very many big concerns about this establishment here, so they ask very politely and, if willing, to compensate you for any inconveniences for relocating. Unfortunately, like my companions have noted, the Queen has authorized us to use any means necessary, but of course, it doesn't need to come to that.
What did you say your name was again?
Lombon. Peter Lombon.
Ugh, that's a wonderful name. Peter, I can take whatever complaint you may have. I can take the papers that your queen has presented us. But to my knowledge, and what I have been told, is that this place, this Evermore that we have set up, is not under the jurisdiction of any of the ruling kingdoms of this country. And we have every right to be here.
That is true. That is true. But many of your attendees here are very fortunately indeed, to be citizens of our Queen's magnificent kingdom. So, in
Perfect.
some ways, it is still our responsibility.
That is true, I suppose, if you and your friends are considered, well, endangered, because, well, from Grimoire, as far as I know, you are the only people I've ever met from there.
See? Exactly. I cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay?
Alright, I cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Let's see here. It's Detect Thoughts. Alright, just lay it on me. Let's see what I get.
This is wild. Hold on, let me quickly read through this spell. When you cast the spell and as your action, okay. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts. Okay. Okay. Alright, as you cast Detect Thoughts on this creature, it's strange because as you probe into its mind, you don't hear like Marion's voice. You don't hear his like inner voice or really anything. Instead, you hear a woman's voice, and she's muttering things to him. And you hear her saying things like, "We have a right to be here," and "They have no power here," and "Keep them here."
Mm.
And that's all you can really access.
Okay. Okay. Well, in any case, here are the paperworks, as I mentioned, and hands him the Queen's letters.
Oh, thank you. I will pass these on.
Of course, and we will give you time for you to respond so that we may relay that back to our Queen.
Yes, certainly. And while you wait, while I take these papers, you can enjoy the circus as much as you need.
Well, we very much appreciate it. Thank you. And
course.
he exits the room to rejoin the others.
All right. I'm gonna quickly, before you rejoin Peter, Jez, Nix, and Marin, did the three of you do anything in the short period of time that Peter was gone? I'm gonna say that conversation took about like 15 minutes because he had to lead Peter to like a tent that was away from the entrance and then sit down and have that conversation. So it at least took like 15-20 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna say that Marin, like the second they like rounded a corner and were out of sight, started walking again.
Marin, hold on. And Nix kind of like grabs the back of your shirt and he's like, "You have to like talk to us, because I don't know what you're doing, and frankly, I'm a little freaked out right now. I have no idea what's happening, and it makes me really nervous that Peter just kind of went off on his own with that dude."
Who's him?
Oh, that's Marion. He's the ringleader of the circus, as far as I know.
I wouldn't exactly call him the ringleader. I don't think he's the one in charge here.
Yeah, guess he's not in charge.
Yeah, but he kind of like ran the show and stuff like that. That's usually what the ringleader does.
He looked like a puppet through the glass.
I'm sorry, what? He looked
The
like a
glass?
puppet?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
It means he looks like a puppet. Look.
Okay. So we're...
Calliope said that people are going to die unless we do something, right? Am I processing that right?
I assume? I thought the people who were gonna die was us.
What if it's both?
Well, maybe.
It could be.
But we can't do nothing.
Yeah, okay, so what are you doing? You're just kind of marching around here. It's cute, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know what you're doing.
I pinched him.
Hey, stop that. He flicks your ear a little. He's like, I just want to know what you're doing,
Stop.
okay? You stop.
I'm trying to follow the fucking guy that just got us in here.
Oh,
Who
you're trying
apparently
to...
isn't even an elf.
Oh, you're trying to follow Cal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, she's seemed to say that there was a show going on. But
I'm trying to walk towards his tent.
okay, but Marin,
Yes.
I understand that. No, listen. Shh. And he puts his hand over your mouth. He puts his
Slap
mouth
it
over.
away.
Make a strength contest.
Fuck.
Boy.
Make a strength contest. Shit.
Des is standing there, one hand on their face, the other like
My
a...
strength is 0.
Here I
That was
am
a
actually
three.
doing my job.
What did you get?
A 3.
I got a 17, bitch. His hand stays on your mouth. He's like, shh,
I just keep slapping it.
listen.
I just keep slapping his arm.
Nyx pays no mind. I don't want us to leave Peter alone with that guy, and I understand. Yes, I get it. I know you want to follow Cal, and I know that we're on a time crunch here, and he could disappear any second. But like, if you didn't notice, there's like a big, scary cloud thing of dark energy being funneled into that tent, and I don't want to go in there without Peter.
Oh.
What? Oh, if I remove my hand, you better stay in this spot, mister. And he removes his hand.
Do you have any better suggestions?
He's doing that thing, like that meme, like how to talk to small people, but he's doing like the no,
I hate him.
where
so
he's
much.
like crouching down a little and he's looking at you in the eye. He's like, my plan? Yeah, I have a plan. It's stand here until Peter gets back with whatever information he's trying to get from that dude. And then honestly, I understand that Cal is like your friend, but I don't know about you. I want to find Cecilia, if we can.
I do too. I just don't want. He seems to be in the most pressing danger.
I think
And he mentioned that most of the performers are in on it. I don't know if a little girl would be, but I'm worried.
I'm worried too. But okay. Jez, you don't know what the fuck's going on. So I'm gonna use this time. Marin, we can pursue Cal if that's what you want. But I really think we should wait for Peter to get back, because I really don't think it's smart to just like disappear on him.
Didn't he tell us to investigate?
There was a lot of winking happening. I lost my train of thought kind of while he was talking. Did he tell us to investigate? Because...
He told us to go check out the other acts, and then he winked like 4 times.
Okay, well...
Which I usually interpret as... Go check out the other acts.
Okay, well, don't you think we should explain a little about what's happening to Jez?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was all the Vinky.
Okay, so Jez, I'm gonna whisper this to you, but my voice is gonna stay the same volume because I can only do this voice at this volume. So Peter can do these things, like these mind tricky things. And so I'm pretty sure that's what he's trying to do. Cause as you probably heard, Marion, that's the man who greeted us. He was like the ring leader or ringmaster the last time we came. And he's a doll, apparently, cause, you know, the glass does that thing where it reveals, like, I guess the opposite of what people are trying to present themselves as. So, if he's a doll, Cal probably isn't what he says he is either. And Cal was one of the acts. He was like a singer. Anyway, like, there's a lot of freaky shit going on. And that thing, and Nyx like points up to the big energy cloud. Yeah, that wasn't here the last time we were here, and neither was that big hag that greeted us. So, yeah, shit's going down, and we kind of need to get to the bottom of it because, I mean, Marin is smarter than me, so I probably don't have to say this, but I really think, like, there's some serious dark magic at work here that we didn't really pick up on the first time we were here.
That's some bad mojo.
So
Yeah.
you're not here, Peter. So if I have one question,
Yes,
only one.
that's impressive, but go on.
One thing at a time. I'm sure I'll have more later.
Okay.
If Marion is a doll,
Yes.
can Peter do his hard stuff on him?
That's kind of what I was wondering. I was wondering if the mirror is still kind of metaphorical. Because obviously I'm not what I was when I looked into it. But at the same time, Cal was definitely a bird thing. So
Yeah, it's kind of weird in here, right?
yeah. Very good, Nyx.
Listen. A lot is happening and I'm trying to process it all at once. I mean, like, the mirror, the way it works is weird in here. It seems like it's showing us, well, I guess it's kind of working the same way where we see one thing.
I hold up the mirror and look at Nyx again.
You see the same thing that you saw Nyx as the last time.
Okay. I look at Jez.
You look at Jez.
Hello.
It's just the same.
Jez just looks like Jez. No. No. You see Jez, but they look very, like, frostbitten and sickly and, like, very, very worn and, like, sad looking.
Okay.
The complete opposite of the demeanor that they actually are probably portraying right now.
Yeah. Jess is there, like, doing the little finger hearts and, like, little peace signs and...
They're posing for you, Marin.
Oh, Jez.
Appreciate me.
Okay.
Here, hey, I have, like, a theory, and it probably isn't right, but I'm thinking it might be partially right.
No, you're smarter than you give yourself credit for, sometimes.
Thanks. What I think
Sometimes.
here... Yeah, I heard it. Don't worry, I didn't miss it. What I think is happening here is that, you know, okay, Cal, he's really pretty. But he was hiding, like, an ugly version of himself. And so, like, even though it's kind of like the reverse, you know what I mean? Like, they're using some kind of magic to make themselves look beautiful. So instead of showing an illusion of the opposite of that, it's showing us, like, the real thing? I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
No, maybe it's just because I've been with you for, like, 9.5 years, but that actually makes sense.
I'm glad. I'm glad. You can act as an interpreter to everyone else, because I'm listening to myself talk and I'm like, what the fuck is he saying? That's just a theory, though. I don't even know if, like...
Biz, did you get that?
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Peter.
Nick's basically just said that, hold on. It's like translating another language.
As you say this, Peter, you kind of like walk up and rejoin the discussion, the party.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Nix. I didn't understand a word you just said, too.
Oh, you heard what I said? Okay, well, listen, I'm just trying to work through it in my brain.
We can work good together.
He said that, fuck.
He kind of pats your shoulder and he's like, I understand. It's okay.
He's saying that if the glass can be used to see things, if the glass turns beautiful things into perceivably ugly things, then if they are using magic to make themselves look beautiful, the glass is just transforming them back to what they normally look like.
And what did you see Marion as when you peeked through the glass earlier? I don't think I didn't see.
A marionette.
See?
There you go.
That probably explains a lot now. Cause
Yeah, it does. It also makes our whole name thing less confusing.
no, no. When I spoke to him, I thought he was just very thick-headed, but it seems like he indeed just has a head of wood. If he looks like a marionette doll. So I couldn't get all the information out of him. He wouldn't budge either when I tried to, get him to shut it down. But I did.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, I did hear. Well, I did probe his brain a little, and or probe his thoughts. I mean, I heard another voice in there.
Well, I hear another voice all the time. Oh my conscience.
What?
What?
Jezebel.
Maybe we should deal with that in another time.
No, okay, actually, yeah, no, you're right, Nix.
Yeah, let's put a pin in that. We're gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah, bookmark it. We'll be back to it later. I'm making a mental.
I did hear another voice in there. It sounded like it was very faint, but it sounded like a elderly woman. And we did just meet a very threatening elderly woman no more than about 15 minutes ago. So
yeah, she was definitely old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So should we as you kind of reveal that to your party, Peter, a shadow kind of like looms over your group, your little huddle of conversation that you're having right now.
Yeah, our little football huddle.
And as you turn to look at what is casting the shadow, you see Marion with that same smile. And he kind of looks down at you and goes, I'm sorry. The proprietors have informed me that you were not invited to be here. Well, I'm very, very sorry, but we just can't have that. And as he says that, you see, like, coming out of a tent to the left, the one that, based off of Peru's map that he made, but, like, he's no longer with us, so you just have this map. It is the tent that once held the dwarven act, you see a flood of goblins emerge from behind the tent walls, and they are running straight for you. And we're gonna end it right there.
Oh boy.
Tickets.
Gablins.
Hey,
Goblins.
can I do something like? Can I have done something real quick while Marion was talking?
Sure.
Can I have real quick done quick cantrip to each party member?
Okay.
Um,
What cantrip?
message.
Message? Okay.
Message.
Okay. What?
Shit, I just remembered
Message.
that Calliope said that the proprietors can hear everything, and then that's it.
Okay, that's where we'll
And then
end.
goblins.
Yeah, then goblins. The horde is coming for you. And that's where we're gonna end. I'm sorry it was like super short, and like we know a lot happened, but I think like enough happened. I'm on vacation, so I have to mingle with extended family.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini session. I'm hoping whenever we can stream next, which it might not be, the scheduling might not be as regular as it always is. I have to see some things. And we have to work out schedules. But if there's a change of schedule, I'll let the stream know. We'll set something up.
We'll find
but
a way
yeah.
to let people know.
Yeah, we'll let people know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you had fun in this little mini introduction as to the shit that is about to go down.
We're all
It
gonna
was
die.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Marion
Alright.
is exhausted. We're all gonna die.
Merritt is still exhausted, and no one has had a rest in a
Marin's so
while.
exhausted, and here, hold on. Let me take a quick peep at my spell slots.
Yeah, we're all gonna
me-
die.
Let me tell you guys, they're not looking great.
We're all gonna die. Anyway.
Well, it's fine. Anyway, goodbye to the stream. Thank you if anyone showed up.